All right, so the orange guy's at it again, this time throwing a hissy fit on Truth Social, and it's aimed directly at Canada. Why? Because of our digital services tax. Apparently the same one that 17 other countries already have in place. But Taco Man just picked up his toys and stormed off like a baby, stating all trade talks are off with Canada. Honestly, are we even surprised? With his track record. Give it a couple weeks, he'll probably walk it back or pretend it never happened. I've got a few reports covering the whole thing. Let's get into it.
First off, let's explain what exactly the digital services tax is and what this move might mean.
Hey there, Tracy. So this is a 3% tax that is going to be on any kind of organization or company outside of Canada that brings in $20 million or more based on the money that comes in from users that exist in Canada. This is something that has actually been in place for a couple of years, but the first payments are actually due on Monday, retroactive to the beginning of 2022. And this is going to hit some of America's biggest companies. Think Meta, think Uber, think Amazon, anything, Google, anything that kind of has a digital footprint here where there are users in Canada that pay for any kind of services. This is going to come with a hefty price tag. Canada's not the only one that does this. The UK does this, but 17 other countries do it as well.
Okay, full disclosure. Politics, trade, tariffs, taxes. Yeah. Not exactly my usual focus here on this channel or my strength. I don't want to make myself sound like I'm an expert in this because I'm not. But something about this latest report really stuck with me. Canada's digital tax? It's already in place for a few years apparently. The deal's been signed. The rules are active. So why is Canada being singled out now? Is it because we told Taco Man to shove his golden dome? Or maybe it's because we've been strengthening trade ties with Europe? I don't know. But let me know in the comments what you think.
And back in 2021, there was a group of nations that got together to try and figure out a way forward on reframing the global tax bracket and how to collect money. And there was a framework put in place to put these digital service taxes and work around them. Canada opted out of that. And now here we are at this situation where Canada is about to make a big collection from the United States, and it's come with a consequence.
Yeah, you talk about this big collection. What is that dollar figure? Also, Reggie, this tax has been in the works for years. So why is Trump reacting so strongly now?
Well, look, it's a big number right now. I believe the number is in and around $3 billion is what all of these tech companies in the United States are going to owe to the Canadian government. And it's worth pointing out, industry groups and these companies had been fighting with the Biden administration to put retaliatory action in place years ago. And there was a failure to do that. So this is now Donald Trump's opportunity to jump into the picture. Look, Trump is no fan of the United States having to pay taxes. He's actively trying to go after every other country to pay taxes towards the United States, but he has come out against digital taxes as a kind of non-monetary tax on variety of countries now for the last several weeks, and this is something that he has argued he is going to hit back at. It's worth pointing out, though, Tracy, as the United States is set to pay Canada this $3 billion, the United Kingdom also has a digital services tax that the United States will have to pay into, and there is no issue there. There was no kind of workaround with this, with the deal that was put in place between the US and the UK a couple of weeks ago. So the US seems okay with paying it to one country. It doesn't seem okay with paying it to another country. And as Trump put in his Truth Social post, he sees Canada as a country that's difficult to deal with. And this is going to break down what was already kind of a frantic last-minute chance here to try and get a tariff deal worked out.
So here's what doesn't make sense to me. The UK just signed a similar deal weeks ago, and that's totally fine. But when Canada does it, suddenly it's a problem? We've all seen that Canada and the US have been in trade talks, but it sure looks like Taco Man isn't getting his way, and now he's using the digital tax as an excuse to back out. That's just my take, and I could be totally wrong, but really, why is it UK good, Canada bad?
Yeah, there's certainly been a lot of different narratives around all of this as well. Trump and Prime Minister Mark Carney had been negotiating on a trade deal in private. So what does this mean now for Canada? Are we looking at new tariffs? Which sectors might feel it first?
Right. Definitely looking at new tariffs. Donald Trump has said sometime in the next 7 days, a number will be told to Canada, and that's what the tariff rate is going to be. And that's absolutely going to throw a stick into the spokes right now, as these negotiations had continued until just a few hours ago. We know from the...
So no matter why Taco Man's having another mood swing, one thing's clear. Businesses on both sides of the border are about to get hit with more chaos. Tariff this, tariff that. No one can plan. No one can price things properly. Canadian businesses, brace yourself for another round of tariff headaches. And US businesses, yeah, you're in it too. But to the Republican run companies whining about it, I've got zero sympathy. But who knows? Donald could change his mind on Monday.
The Canadian ambassador in the United States, she said that this was going to be a difficult effort to try and get a full trade deal worked out. It would likely be tariffs first and then a renegotiation of USMCA next year. If this is going to be how the United States is working, it's difficult to see how Canada is going to be able to get anything that they may want. And we've heard that Ottawa could potentially issue some retaliatory efforts on the United States if it were to go and give Canada a blanket tariff number here. So this is now going to be a bit of an onion in the ointment for trying to get these kind of two countries to work and move along with each other. And it could have huge ramifications here. I mean, $762 billion traded back and forth between these two countries last year alone. If tariffs are involved in that, if this kind of results in both countries moving in opposite directions, there is going to be a huge economic impact, and it could have an impact both on Americans and in Canada. So Trump's Truth Social post today could have some significant and lingering consequences.
It felt like we had a brief break. Trump was busy ranting about the Middle East, a failed parade, and that flagpole he put up. But now, the next wave of tariffs is creeping in, and it's starting to feel like a repeat of early March. Honestly, this just reinforces the fact that Canada needs new partners, and I'm glad we're seeing stronger ties forming with Europe. I came across this photo from the G7 summit. This is what real diplomatic talks look like. And yeah, I'm glad Trump's not in it. Because let's be real, working with him isn't exactly smooth sailing. I never got a chance to use this clip until now, but this feels like the right moment.
Show you something else from the G7 meeting that not many people picked up on, but there was this little exchange between Italian Prime Minister Giorgio Meloni and Emmanuel Macron. I'm not sure what's going on here. See if you can work it out.
Nothing official yet. They haven't turned on the microphones, but sometimes they can pick something up in the side conversations. But
it looks a little bit like Macron's told her a joke or something. Like they talk about someone else and she's rolled her eyes, or she's rolling her eyes at the French president.
No, as woman to woman, I know that is the eye roll of a gossip session. They are definitely sitting there gossiping about someone else around their table. I mean, and to be honest, that's exactly how I would react if I were Trump and Albanese rocked up at the White House. Big eye roll.
Yeah, we're not stupid. We all know exactly why she rolled her eyes. So to wrap this up, it looks like we're heading into another round of tariffs on, tariffs off. And honestly, I just hope Canadian businesses can ride it out without getting seasick. If you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe. It helps get this message out to more Canadians. And if you're still here, check out the other videos popping up on your screen now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.